Welcome to Colors of Life. As a way of introducing my guest today, I'll quote Kirk Franklin, American songwriter and singer. He said, "For those of you who think that gospel music has gone too far, you think we got too radical for Christ. Well, I have news for you. You haven't seen anything yet." So join me to welcome the Gospel Force.
We say, God na helele, God na waya ho. It's testimony. God na helele, God na waya ho. God na helele.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Gospel Force. Now, introduce yourselves one by one and tell us a little about yourself.
I can go first.
Okay, sure.
My name is Sultan Aladaba. I am the lead vocalist of Gospel Force and a co-founder of the band.
Thanks, Sultan.
Okay, my name is Micahel Abiodun. I'm the bass guitar player of the band. Yes, and I also do our social media and online branding.
Great.
My name is Olamide Ogundiran. I'm the lead guitar in the band and in charge of band management and admin here.
Okay, so I see that everyone has like a musical role and an administrative function. Michael, maybe I'm biased towards you because my husband used to play the bass guitar. In fact, while we were at university, that's one of the things that endeared me to him because he was this star on stage playing the bass guitar. And then 10 years later, I meet him and he proposes. So I have a weakness for the players of the bass guitar. Okay, let me ask you, is rock a popular genre of music in Nigeria? Because I've never heard of a rock band.
Okay, I would...
in Nigeria.
Okay.
I know Sting and all those people outside.
Oh, you know Sting, okay.
Yes, I do.
Well, there are a couple of us out there.
Okay.
And, we're just privileged to be, forerunners of, the movement. And for the rock bands, we have Rep J360. We have a couple of others that, Gospel Force does rock, Yeah, Rock of Ages band. We have Rock of Ages
really?
band.
There's one called Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they are there. They are friends. And we also have single artists that sing rock music. IK Rocks at Global Impact Church.
Yeah,
so, a lot of them, they are there. So rock music is not really, in the mainstream in Nigeria. So that's why every time people love rock music, but they don't know they love rock music until they hear it.
Yeah, I think I'm guilty, because when I went to your Instagram, and the very first one I pressed to listen to was a song we sing in church all the time, God na helele, God na waya, but he was like, God na helele. I'm like, what is this? So I didn't know. So why did you decide to play rock?
Well, as a band leader and a co-founder, I've always been a fan of rock music. And I've not always wanted, I never wanted to have a rock band.
Okay.
But I've always been a fan of rock music. But when I ended up having a group, or when I ended up co-founding a group and all that year, I felt, okay, we could actually do this. I felt in my spirit that we can do this. And we had everything in place. We had all the motivation we needed to say, okay, let's do rock music. But the point when we got to, okay, how do we present this rock music to our fellow Nigerians?
In fact, before your fellow Nigerians, I want to ask about church.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to assume that, how many years ago was this when you started?
11 years ago.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
And you were in the same church or different churches?
Different churches, different branches.
Okay.
But under the same church. That's Redeemed Christian Church of God, but different parishes.
Okay, and then so how come you guys were getting together? Was it like during the church convention, youth convention?
Yes,
or
we
something?
were always meeting, even at, the teen choir rehearsals.
Oh, you were teenagers
Yes,
then,
we
of
were
course,
teenagers.
because you're millennials, generation.
Yeah, so we were-
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Generation Y.
Why? We always ask why, actually.
We always ask why.
You know,
Why?
is that why you're called Generation Y?
Yeah, some,
No, no,
part
it's
of-
just-
Some say that.
some people say
They
the reason
question,
why
they ask
call us
questions a lot.
Generation Y is because
I mean,
question a lot of
every generation starts from asking questions, but
Yours is different. So how do we reach a generation that is always asking why? Because I'll tell you, our own training, especially in the church and even at home, was, if your mother or your father says something, you do it. How dare you question? And in church, we're told submit to authority. Once you get an instruction, you just say, yes, sir. But I talk to my children now, my son, and he's like, Mommy, you're not listening to me. I'm like, excuse me, who's supposed to listen to who?
Sure.
So tell us, so how do we reach you?
well, I
I
feel
really don't have opinions about this.
I feel first of all, you need to know what it feels like to be a millennial. It's just different.
Okay.
Yes.
It's really different.
Okay.
I mean, there are times where I don't encourage people of my generation to be rebellious or disobedient, but I feel there's a line where mothers or parents need to put themselves in what really speaks to them and what really is attracted to them. Your generation is a lot different.
Yes, and
It's a
that's what I want to hear. So, for instance, in what way? Because you're like the age of my son and daughter. So I'm like the mom. So I want to learn from you.
No, well, the reason why we always ask why is because we get knowledge from different places.
Yeah.
We get knowledge.
Okay, of course.
Apart
with
from
internet.
yes,
Exposure.
I have a 16-year-old brother, and
Okay.
he doesn't come to ask me questions again. He comes to show me what he has discovered.
Which is
Like, he's a drummer, and then he's like, see what I discovered on the internet today. This guy is doing 16 rows at a time. And then he'd be like, why is he doing it like that? I can't answer him.
So you're even
That's true.
struggling with understanding the generation after, and that's not even a generation, but the younger people.
we want them to ask questions like, how did you do it? But
Yeah.
they don't do that.
They don't do it. They just tell you what they've discovered.
Okay, so you ask us questions. You keep saying to us why.
Why?
But
Yeah,
the
why
ones
do you
coming
have to
after
do
you are not asking. They're saying, this is what I've discovered.
Yeah, this is what I discovered.
Interesting, amazing. So how did the church receive your type of music? I want to hear. Can't wait to hear.
I'll be answering most of the questions because I've always been, there in the forefront.
Okay.
The thing is, yes, we have songs. We have a lot of songs. God has blessed us with songs, as a result of prayer meeting, rehearsals, different experiences. But we realize that these songs, they are not really for, our fellow Nigerians, Okay, what do? We deliberately, we said, okay, let's just take all the old songs. Take all the old songs, and we started singing. So that one made old people and people that are young at heart
Yes.
to
I prefer
identify.
I feel more comfortable when you say people that are young.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it made people that are young
Young
at
at
heart,
to accept
identify. We've been to places where they are supposed to invite Tope Alabi
Yeah.
Okay.
in court.
Okay.
They are supposed to. What are we doing there? We are rock stars. We are not supposed to be there. But because of we sing old songs and we gave nostalgia to these people that
Yes,
are.
of
they were
course. So
like,
that was a way to connect to the older generation.
yes.
Yes.
The younger ones,
It's the performance.
they are
actually.
always like,
They just
The
they just like the energy.
Because
The
when you
energy.
guys are performing, even
And it's-
I just
and it's
feel the
unique,
energy.
Yes.
really,
Yeah.
because when you hear of Thanksgiving in churches,
Yes.
what you want to hear is maybe the popular alujo that
Talking drum and
they
all
call
Yeah,
it,
talking drums and
talking
all.
drums,
Okay.
high live, and all of
Yeah.
those things. So when they come to church and they see a rock band performing a rock music on a Thanksgiving Sunday, they'll be
awkward.
like, it's
What
very
is
new
going
and
on?
fresh.
it's
for
like
them.
it's like when we went to Global Impact now.
Yeah.
Pastor Yemi Davis was like,
Yes.
you people, you are not used to this kind of Thanksgiving, Abi. That's what he said.
Okay, we're going to take a break now. We've seen how you've shown us your strategy for reaching the older generation, and that's just fantastic. There's so much more we need to talk about. So in the studio with me is Gospel Force, a Christian rock band, and they've told us a bit of how they started, their story. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have a more interesting conversation. Stay with us. In the studio with me is Sultan Aladaba, Micahel Abiodun, and Olamide Ogundiran, members of the Christian rock band Gospel Force. They've told us their strategy for getting the older people in church to accept their rock music. So we're going to continue this conversation. So that was your strategy, but how did the church generally respond to you? Your church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, for instance, have you played at the campground?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Twice. Okay, twice at the redemption camp for the Holy Ghost service.
Holy Ghost service.
Then for that Gio's birthday,
Twice
now.
Also.
You did?
Yes.
And it was...
So was it a surprise? Had he heard you before, Pastor Deboye?
Well, the thing is, they have a team that plans, the whole the marathon praise for his birthday.
Okay, so it was part of the marathon
So it was
praise.
part of the
I know
marathon praise.
when he turned maybe 78, we have 78 hours of praise and all that. Okay, so it was like that praise, not like he's sitting there and you're praising with him.
No.
Because Pastor Deboye is cool and calm and collected, isn't he?
We'll put him on the test one of these.
I know you've talked about mentoring, that mentoring played an important, or you did say that the youth, you said mentoring is one of the things that the youth need so much. Micahel, what part has mentoring played in your career as musicians, if any?
Okay, so for me, mentoring has played a very important role as a musician because at a point in my life, I went to music school.
Okay.
So I had a mentor who was not just a musician, he was also kind of a pastor. His name is Brett Gain.
Okay.
So he's about the best bass guitar player in Nigeria.
Really?
So aside training us the skill, the dexterity part and all that stuff. So there's always Bible study, and it tells us, like it gives us example of repercussions of whatever you do and everything. So it tells you how to be a Christian musician and playing the art and playing with the art, like with your heart.
Yes.
So there's the Christian musician. The definition is the Christian musician playing from the art with the heart. So I've learned that. I've learned discipline personally in my own. So that was how I was mentored personally as a musician. Then as a Christian, I also grew up in RCCGs. So we have this believers class, we have workers in training, school of disciples. So I did
so
all
you've
of
been
that.
grounded personally in your faith.
In
and
my
what
faith.
about your Olamide? Did mentoring play any role for you? Because was it backstage? You guys mentioned a particular musician.
Yes.
Can't remember. Nathan. Okay.
For the band, really, Efe Nathan has been such a mother and a mentor to us.
Okay.
We call her Mama,
But
actually.
yes, that's for the band. For me in particular, my experience has been from a Baptist background.
Okay.
So moving to work with Pastor Tosin Martins.
Okay.
He's also a musician, but also a pastor right now.
Okay.
So my experience there has been a major form to me staying ready, being not just a Christian, but like a professional musician too. Because people also want to see that in our playing, our approach, when people call us for events and all of those things.
Yes. Now, some people have said music can be a very delicate rope to walk because the devil was a musician, as it were, from scripture. Scripture suggests that some people have said he was like the choir master in heaven, and he fell. So music is always like, be careful about music. So sometimes are you scared that you're working in an area that is spiritually sensitive?
I'm never scared.
Okay.
And I actually want to pick out a point from. I'm never scared because of the journey of music we do.
Okay.
You know, I think at some point in our lives, some people thought, oh, rock music, it's demonic, it's devilish, based on, you know, the origin of the journey of music. And then we tell them that if these guys, rock music is just a tool. You cannot define my worship. It's just a tool. So if they are using rock music, well, what they are using it for, we can use rock music to worship.
Yeah, because you have reggae, you have R&B, you have juju,
it's just yes. So you cannot tell me it's demonic.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
It's just one part of music.
Classical music.
So what you use it for
is what makes the difference.
Absolutely.
The spirit behind.
Like we always tell people, we are MAD. That's we are mad, meaning we are making a difference.
Making a difference. I like that.
With rock music.
Okay.
So that's I'm never scared.
That's all about that. Now, you guys are on the stage. You're young, attractive musicians. The girls people just are attracted to people on the stage and attracted to stars, you know. I said how my husband used to play in a band, you know, and I remember in those days it wasn't a Christian band. I'd be like, everyone would be so excited. So you must have that sort of attention. How do you deal with that?
Well,
you want to answer?
Yeah, I would like to say something.
Okay, that's all I'm doing.
I think it's a very sensitive and, delicate area of any artist, whether you be gospel or contemporary artist. And personally, mentorship has really helped us. We have the likes of Nathan, Pastor Femi Obaweya, Pastor Mrs. Benjamin, Dayo Benjamin.
We had
These are people that anytime we see them, they consistently tell us there are two major things that can actually disrupt you guys. Is either money or girls.
Like they say it outright.
So when going for events, when doing the ministry, aside from we pray, we study from different areas and we talk about stuff, we have that consciousness.
So your friendship and your relationship is like an accountability group as well.
Yes, we use it for accountability group too. We don't just pray, and we are not. I don't know how to put it. Yes. We are not, too religiously related, in a relationship that we cannot talk about,
day-to-day real issues that you guys
issues,
face.
You understand?
Yes.
Someone can just come up and say, guys, that babe has been disturbing me. What am I going to do? Like I say, calm down. We know where you are coming from.
And that's so important, because we find out that it seems there's more resources for women to have a community, a support community, but not so easy for men. So seeing that music has brought you together and there's that friendship and support group, I think it's just fantastic. Well done, guys. We'll take a break now. So we are having a real refreshing conversation here, seeing how 3 young men who are part of a group of like 11, 10 are using their talent to pass a message to their generation. So we'll take a break and come back to conclude this conversation. Thank you for staying with us on this edition of Colors of Life, where I'm speaking to some members of Gospel Force. Now, music, does the music pay the bills? That's so important because here's our passion, and yet there's some realities, in front of us as young men. I'm sure we finished school, we're thinking of life going forward. How do we balance music, money, career?
Well, sadly, or yeah, I would say no, it doesn't entirely. Or at the beginning stage, yes. There's you just have to do something else.
Okay.
To run your daily life, and use it to fund the music till the music can fund itself.
Okay, so not only you need to work to survive, but also to even fund your passion. So what do you do, for instance?
Well, I help people make money online through foreign exchange, drop shipping, Forex, HFX, DCX, which is like cryptocurrency.
Okay, I was going to ask, does it include that?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and Micahel, what about you? What's your day job?
Well, I won't call it a job. It's also a passion, but I was one of the lucky few that have a passion in the tech industry, tech and online marketing industry. So I do online marketing, consulting for brands, helping them, set up websites, digital campaigns, SEO, and basically their digital branding. Okay,
what did you study? I'm curious.
Okay, communications technology.
Okay, where?
More like a computer science. National Open University was a part-time I was running while I was in music school.
Excellent. Olamide, what did you study?
Botany.
Botany?
Yes, in University of Lagos.
Okay. Sultan, what did you study?
Sociology and anthropology.
And what are you doing now?
I'm playing football. Apart from the ministry, I play for a football club, 96 Champions Football Club in Lagos. And I also co-own a sports events management company, Soccer Villa. What we do is we organize, sports events, football competitions, novelty games, charity games, anything that has to do with logistics of how the events should go.
The sport.
That's what we do in the sport. That's what I do. So apart from ministry, the music, that's what I do. And anytime the ministry calls.
And one funny thing is, we are that passionate about it that we actually prioritize it.
Yes.
A lot of time when it clashes, we've had a situation where he's had to cancel his soccer game and be like, I'm not going to be
here. Just because I've
played football, like we've gotten to a final where if we win that final, so amount to be made, I'll get so much bonus from the club. But because
when the music calls, you go.
I will just tell them. I know they come. And then they will be like, as usual.
Now, youth. Everyone has their attention on youth because youth point us to the future. So whether it's governments, whether it's corporates, and even the church, now the focus is on the youth. But sometimes there's the feeling that there isn't much hope, at least in Nigeria. Like the youth got so infuriated that we saw the NSAS movement, protest.
That was amazing.
That was like a manifestation of the state of the heart of the youth. They just had enough. And some people feel it's a hopeless situation. Do you have hope for the youth? I mean, you are youth.
Yes, I do. Very much, because I feel in generations when there's a transfer of wealth or transfer of power, it doesn't come free. It doesn't come easy. So if something bad is happening, it's just know it's opening doors for something else.
Birth pangs of a new season, a new generation.
Absolutely. I mean, COVID taught us that you can actually make money from home.
Yeah.
Like, why sitting at home? And everybody's doing the 9 to 5. Yes. That was a good transition.
I also have a hope for youth if they're in the right environment.
And is Nigeria the right environment? Is the environment a physical place, or is it in the mind, or the right? What's the right environment? Both.
I think it's like yin and yang. It's like kung fu. Like they work, together. They're intertwined. Yes, because when you talk about the mind. The mind in the physical environment ignores, if you really want to get what you need to get, ignores what the environment, what the physical environment brings.
Okay.
That's where leaving your comfort zone comes from.
Yeah.
So it has to do with the power of your mind. There's a part of the Bible that says, I've not given you the spirit of fear,
but of love, power, and of a sound mind. And whatever we believe, all things are possible if we believe.
It's the mind. The mind. There's this saying among the youth, when someone does something daring, they'll be like, more. You get mind, That's it.
It's in the mind.
I feel your environment is very subject to your mind.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So mind over matter.
Yes.
Well. I like that.
Yeah.
And talking about the mind, you have said yours is music with a message. What is the message of the music coming from Gospel Force?
A peculiar sound. A sound that you think you've heard before. You think you've heard it before because every time you get to experience God through Gospel Force, you are like, you've heard this song before, but it's sounding different.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's the same song, but it's different. So as a result of hearing something different, you receive different testimonies.
Yeah.
You know.
And a new experience, with God and from God.
Yes, God is
Do I see a wedding ring?
Yeah. Yes.
You're married?
Yes.
Is anyone else here married?
It's just him.
Wow.
I'm the only one married in the band.
Okay. Do you have a child?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Amazing. You know, it just skipped me. Just now I'm seeing the ring. It's been, how old is the child?
2 months.
Oh, you're newly become a father.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It's really an experience.
I'm sure it is. Your life just never remains the same. But we've come to the end of our conversation with you. Thank you so much, Sultan Micahel Olamide. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for what you do. I'm a fan. I would have said I like rock music.
Fantastic.
You've made me a convert to rock music, and I'm now a follower of Gospel Force. And I pray that things just only get better for you, and that there are more, opportunities to reach out to the wonderful young people, and that you'll be role models. Thank you for taking the time to come and share your story with us. This is where we round off our conversation with members of Gospel Force, Christian rock band, music with a message, a peculiar sound. This is the Colors of Life show. Please share this video. Follow us on social media. Here we seek to know Christ and to make him known. Thank you for staying with us.